to just go straight to the question? What do you want? Do you want me to recap the entire stuff again, or we should go straight to the question?
Please go straight to the question.
Okay, good. So this, it was done the last time and it was also recorded, so you can always go through the recorded version to listen to the lecture all over again. All right, so we are done with this. So the next question, we are done with question number 1. How many questions do I have? I have about 7 questions. I don't know if I'll be able to solve the entire 7, but let's see how far we can go. So we're done with number 1. Okay. Let's take this question number 2. So can somebody read for us, please? Number 2. Somebody should read these questions for us. Number 2. That is on the screen. Please, someone should read for us.
Yeah. A company is about to begin to operate a coal mine. At the end of the reporting period, the mine shaft has been prepared and all I'm seeing your screen though.
Oh yeah, continue.
And all the necessary equipment has been constructed and is in place, but no coal has been extracted. Under local law, the company is obliged to rectify all damage to the site once the mining operation has been completed. This is expected to be in several years from now. Management estimates that 20% of the eventual cost of preparing this work will relate to plugging the mine and removing the equipment and various buildings, and the remaining 80% will relate to restoring the damage caused by the actual extraction of coal. You are required to advise the company in accordance with IAS 37.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you can mute now. Let me explain this question. I will explain to you, then you will now tell me solution. So a company is about to begin to operate a coal mine. At the end of the period, the mine shaft has been prepared, okay? And all the necessary equipment has been constructed and is in place. So what it means is that they have already installed all equipment that they need, all the machines are in place, all the equipment have been installed. They have already installed everything that they need, okay? But no coal has yet been extracted. So they have installed all equipment, but they have not started extracting coal. Oh, I'm not recording. Oh, see you guys. Oh. I'm not recording. Okay, I think I've commenced recording. Yeah, I've commenced. So they have, what's it called? They have started, they have already installed all the equipment, but no coal has been extracted yet. So under the local law, the company is obliged to rectify all damage to the site once the mining operation has been completed. So as per the law, so which means that this is like a legal obligation. It's not a constructive, Abi, because it is as per the law. Whatever damages that you have created, you must restore all the damages back. Okay. Now, management estimates that the 20% of the eventual cost of this work will relate to plugging the mining and removing the equipment and various buildings. So out of the entire cost that they need to clear all this mess now, 20% of those costs will relate to removing all the equipment that they have already installed on site. And the remaining 20% will relate to the restoring the damage caused by the actual extraction of coal, which means that 20% is to remove the equipment, while 80% is to clean up after extraction of coal. So you are to advise, okay? First of all, what do you think are we going to make provision, yes or no? If yes, am I making provision for 20% for those equipment, or am I making provision for 80% for the extraction, or am I even making 100% provision? So I need 1 or 2 persons to quickly advise me now. Oh yeah, over to you guys. I've explained the question. I need 1 or 2 persons to advise me on what needs to be done here, please. With my explanation.
So I think we'll make provision for, we are going to make provision for the expense that is going to be incurred later on in the future.
Is it the entire
And
100%, Abi?
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Who else again? Who else want to back up, Maureen?
Sir, will you make a provision?
I'm
Because
asking you now. You gotta tell me now.
I said because it's a future cost, not a past cost.
Okay, that's your understanding. Who else again want to tell me 1 or 2 things? Babalola Michael, you've gone on mute now. Speak now. You are my guy. You've started well.
So I resigned for this one.
Okay, let me tell you. Let me explain now. So this is a decommissioning cost, right? This is, under IS 16, there's something called, this is a decommissioning cost. Okay, and there is a legal obligation on it. Legal obligation is that there is a law backing up this, that whenever you are leaving that place, you must clean up. So you can make provision for the commissioning cost. Yes, a company can make provision, but the provision will be restricted to only 20%, okay, for
Well,
the removal of equipment already installed. Those equipment have been installed, but they've not started. You can see they said they've already installed equipment, but no coal has been extracted yet. So you cannot make provision for cleanup because you've not even started extracting coal. What if you change your mind tomorrow that you are no longer extracting any coal? So you can only make provisions for the current obligations that you have. As it is now, what is your current obligation? The current obligation is what you have already done, which means you have already installed equipment. So if you want to remove your equipment, you need to spend the 20%. However, the 80%, you can make provisions for it when you commence extraction. Okay? Okay? And provision for the 80% cost can be made when the company commence the extraction of coal in the future. Please, do you understand the solutions, please? Sorry, do you understand, please? Everybody has gone on mute now. Aisha, you have not been saying anything since. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
It's clear, Abby?
yes, sir.
My
Yes.
governor have not been speaking. I'm worried. What happened? Aisha, what happened? You have not been saying anything.
Sir, it's because since I can't see your screen, so I don't want to go back and be coming. That's
You mean
why
you still
I've
cannot
not
see
been
it? You can't see it now. See.
Yes,
Steph,
at some point it sees. At some point I can't see.
are
So I
you
don't want to
using
go in and come
are you using a laptop or your phone?
my phone.
Network here now. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, you watch
Thank
the
you, sir.
recorded. You watch the recorded version
Yes.
of it. But these
Yes.
solutions. Okay. Do you have the question with you?
Yes, I understand what we've been doing since.
Can you read the question on your own?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I will send this soft copy to the class. When I'm done, I will send this soft copy to you guys.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Oh yeah. Since you have the question with you, I shall still wait. Oh yeah, read number 3 for us. You go. You read number 3 for us. I'm waiting.
Okay, we're done with number 2.
Yes. Number 3. Oh yeah. Okay, if you can't
Lagos
read. Okay,
Properties.
thank you.
Lagos Properties owns a series of IUI's modern office blocks in several major cities in Nigeria. The company introduced legislation that requires top safety glass to be fitted in all windows on floors above the ground floor. The exception only applies initially to new buildings, but all buildings will have to comply within 5 years. Can the company make provision? No.
All right. Can you tell me the answer, please? Can we make provisions, please? Lagos Properties owns a series of high-rise modern office blocks in several major cities. So the government introduces legislation that required safety glasses to be fitted on all windows. So meaning, because government has introduced a legislation, that means that is a legal obligation. However, the legislation only apply initially to new buildings. So that legislation is applicable to if you are building a new building, now you must comply. Okay, but if you have an existing building, you still have up to 5 years to comply. So, but the question is, we Lagos building, we own existing building. So can we make provision now? So that's the question. Please tell me the answer.
I think
What do you think? Oh, yeah.
I think the company cannot make provision.
Why? Why? You just say you think the company cannot make. Tell me why now. Hello, yeah, somebody should tell me the answer now. I don't just want to be solving everything for you, you know. I need you guys to
Sir,
also
because
contribute.
the company and we have that the buildings or the association will comply within 5 years. I think so. It should be a future operating loss.
You got it, you are right, but you are changing, you are still messing it up again. So let me move on. Let's move on. So now, Lagos Property owns a series of high-rise buildings. So the government is reading legislation that require. So this legislation is currently applies to a new building now. If you are building a new building, yes, you can. You need to comply. But if you have an old building, you have up to 5 years. So the question is, within the 5 years, we can even change our mind. So the solution is that no, you cannot make a provisions, right? No, the company cannot make. So when I'm giving you an answer, I have to tell you also why too. So you can't just say no provision. You must also substantiate why the company cannot make a provision. Okay, because the law is currently not applicable to the company, and the company still have up to 5 years to comply or not, right? So you understand, Abi? So within the 5 years now, we can decide to say, okay, we are even selling off our building. We don't need it again. So currently now, the law is not applicable to us. We have up to 5 years to comply, okay? So, but at the end of the year 5, if we still have this building, then we have to comply with the law, okay? The law will be applicable on new buildings or at the or at the end of year 5 for the existing buildings, right? So do you understand this solution, right? Do you understand this solution? So we have an existing building. So within 5 years, the law is not applicable to us. The law only applicable at the end of year 5. So we have to comply immediately. But now we cannot comply because the building that we have now, sir, we can decide to even dispose it of. Do you understand, please? So currently we do not have obligations since they gave us a 5 years window to comply. Okay, we don't have any obligation. Please, do you understand this before I move to the next one? I'm not hearing your feedback. Or what is your feedback? Do you understand these solutions, please?
I understand. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Number 4. Number 4. So what is the solutions to number 4? Someone should read for us, please. Someone should read question number 4 for us.
Gombe Prefabricators Limited has won a contract to provide temporary.
Oh yeah, one of you should read. Many people want to read at the same time. One of you should read now. Oh yeah, go on. Please go on.
Okay. Gombe Prefabricators Limited has won a contract to provide temporary accommodations for workers involved in building a new airport. The contract involves the erection of accommodation blocks on a public park, and 2 years later, the removal of the blocks and the restatement of the site. The blocks have been built and it is now GPL year-end. GPL estimates that the task of removing the blocks and restating the park to its present condition might be complex, resulting in costs with a present value of 2 million, or straightforward, resulting in costs with a present value of 1.3 million. GPL estimates that there is a 60% chance of the job being straightforward. Should a provision be recognized, and if so, at what value?
So this one is very straightforward question now. So what is your answer?
I think they can make provision since it's to restore it to its present condition.
So are they going to use straightforward or straightforward? How much are they going to use for provision? Complex or straightforward? Okay. Yes, the company can make provision. So at how much now? Okay, let me do this fast. They said that there is a 60% chance of the job being straightforward. So, there are two costs here. The first cost is that if the job is complex, we will spend 2 million. And if the job is straightforward, we will spend 1.3. So you are told that there is a higher chance of the job being straightforward. So your provision is just 1.3 million. Okay, so it's 1.3 million that you will use. And since there is a 60% chance of the job being straightforward, okay, the amount of provision required is 1.3. Okay, 1.3 million is what you need. That's the cost of the straightforward. All right, let's move on. Oh, or should I just stop here so that you guys will attempt the remaining question, or you want me to finish everything for you? Should I stop here then?
Finish.
So let's take one more question.
Sir, there is a question that have been. Hello, sir.
I'm with you.
There is a question in the past question that I've been battling with for this IAS 37. I don't know if you can share light on it. How would maybe after you finish solving this one, I would want to share the question so that I can help us break it down.
Project it, Abby?
Yeah, I'll share my screen.
Okay, let's finish this one on time. Oh yeah, read number 5 for us, please. Let's take number 5. Number 5, oh yeah. Who is reading for us?
Number 5. After a wedding in 20X8, 10 people died, possibly as a result of food poisoning from products sold by Caloco. Legal proceedings are started seeking damages for Calo, but it disputes liability. Up until the date of approval of the financial statement for the year ended 31st December 20X8, Calo's lawyer advised that it is probable that it will not be found liable. However, when Calo prepares the financial statement for the year to 31st December 20X9, its lawyers advised that owing to developments in the case, it is probable that it will be found liable. What is the required accounting treatment as at 31st December 20X8 and 31st December 20X9?
Okay. Oh yeah, tell me. What is the treatment for December 2030X8? They said after a wedding in 2008, 10 people died, possibly as a result of food poisoning from products sold by Caloco. Then legal proceedings have started seeking damages from Caloco, but it's disputed the liability. Now, up to date of approval of the financial statement for the year ended 208, Carlo lawyer advised that it is probable that it will not be found liable. So yeah, lawyer said, no, don't worry, nothing will happen. However, when Caloco prepared financial statement for 2009, the lawyer advised that owing to development, that it will be found liable. So how do we treat this in December 28 and 2009? Remember in 2008, they said that lawyer said, don't worry, nothing will happen. However, in the following year, lawyer said, Oga, matter don't change, you will go pay. So what do you think we should do in each of the year?
Sammy, I think that in 20X8 will not make provision since will not be found liable. So there's no provision we're making. We're not making provision for anything.
In
I think so.
2009,
We'll have to make provision because there's possibility that we'll be, charged liable for this thing.
Sir.
Okay. Yes, please.
Okay, in 20S8, since it was not stated, this is a contingent liability. As at 20S8, it was not, the lawyer has not given us like a possibility that we are going to be held liable for the damages. So I think in that regard, we are going to it's only going to appear as note to account or other I don't know how to put it. It's not going to appear in our financial statement. No provision will be made as at that date. But since in 20S9, it has been stated that the damages we are going to be charged for it. Then I think in 20S9 we are going to make provision.
I just copy what you said now as my answer. You are correct. So it is exactly as you are saying it. That was I was typing it. So as at 28, it's a contingent liability. You just disclose it in the financial statement. No provision is required. So however, in 2009, okay, provision, okay, is required. Yeah. Okay. So it's probably the complaint is advised to make provision for the potential cost of damages since it is probable that the outflow will be incurred. Okay, thank you. That's for that. All right, number 6. Question number 6. Let's move on. I don't almost finish everything for you guys, Seth. Let me see if I can leave 1 or 2 for you, Joe. Okay, let me leave number 6 for you. You guys should discuss it. You can just send me solutions. Send the solutions to me on WhatsApp. Then let's take number 7 because Maureen said she wants to project a question for us. So let's take number 7. All right, let's take number 7. Number 7 too. Let me see. Okay, somebody should read number 7. It has A and B, so we'll take it from A and B first. Somebody should read number 7A for us. Let's take it.
Okay, ACCA-UK applies to all provisions and contingencies apart from those covered by the specific requirements of other standards. Therefore, provisions differ from other liabilities because there is uncertainty about timing or amount of initial cash flow required to set the liability. Required, setting the criteria for recognition of financial statement.
Your audio is bad. Okay, let me just read it for you. Let me take it up. Your audio is very bad. IS-87 provides to all product conditions liability apart from those covered by the specific requirements of other standards. Therefore, Provisions differ from other liability because there is undertaking about timing of the amount of the future cash flow to settle. So explain the criteria for recognition of provision in the. So you should also, hello, please mute now. So 7A, I will leave it for you. You can solve the 7A. It's already in my notes, Abi, the criteria and the difference between provisions and contingent liability. So you can take care of that. So someone else should read number B for us somebody with a very clear microphone. Should read number B for us. Who is doing that for us? 7B.
The following activities took place in 3 different companies. 1. Otapia PLC, a rat trap company based in Nigeria, has just secured exportation of rat killers to South Africa. The advertising slogan of the rat killer is "Kill the Blacks." A South African anti-racist movement with representative in Nigeria is claiming 15 million from the company as damages because the advertising slogan allegedly compromises the dignity of Black people. The company's legal representative believes that the success of this claim will depend on the judge who presides over the case. They estimate, however, that there is a 70% probability that the claim will be thrown out and a 30% probability that it will succeed.
So what do you think we should do?
Ah, 30% is coercive. Okay.
You can't make provision like it's a contingent liability. Since there is a 30% chance. I mean, there is a 70% chance that the case will be thrown out of court. So you should disclose, only disclose, right? You should. The transaction should be disclosed in the financial statements, right? You should disclose it. Don't make provisions for it. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. All right. So I think I have 2 more questions to go. Okay. Can we take care of this? Area carry motors, please. Okay, let me just read so that we'll finish on time. Area carry motor is a Nigerian company that specializes in the manufacture of made in Nigeria car. During the financial year, 100 cars have been completed and sold. Then during the testing of the cars, a defect was found in their steering mechanism. All the 100 cars that all the 100 customers that bought the car were duly informed of the defect and were told to bring their car back to have the defect repaired at no cost. All the customers have indicated that this is the only remedy they require. Then the estimated cost of the recall is 10.5. The manufacturer of the steering mechanism equated company with sufficient funds has accepted responsibility for the defect and has undertaken to reimburse area carry at all costs it may incur. So what do you think area carry will do now? What do we even call this at all in the under I-37?
I think this is a 1-year contract.
No, now this is a reimbursable. Is it reimbursable now?
Yes,
Abi?
Yes.
Because what it means is that you are the one that's selling cars, right? You have sold a car, and the manufacturer promised you that whatever amount you incurred they will pay you back. So it's not an expenses. It is the cost of repairs should not be recognized as an expense in the book of area carry, but should be treated as a separate line item in the current asset. Okay, that is reimbursement. So below is the accounting entries, right? So what area carry will do is that it will debit claim from who is the person, let's say claim from the manufacturer or whatever the person needs. So that 10.5 will be debited. Then you credit what? You credit your bank or mode of settlement or mode of settlement. So it's not an expenses because that amount will be reimbursed by the manufacturer. And moreover, the manufacturers have even accepted that they should go ahead and repair and they will reimburse them the entire amount. So area carry will just treat this as a reimbursable item. So it's not an expense for area carry. Is this clear to everybody? Okay. The last one, yeah.
Mr. Kazeem, please, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so the first one, the Otapia PLC, is it because that is 30%? That's why it's just like we're not making provision for it.
If it is up
So
to, if it's more than 50, now it's highly probable. The
okay, but
probability
if
is
it's
very
50,
low.
nko?
If it is 50, then it's 50-50, so it's still a contingent.
Okay.
But once it is high chance, what it is higher than 50, then the probability is more than average.
Okay, all right, sir.
Okay, let's take this one. Abuja Electricity Company sold a number of electricity transformer with a warranty. Okay, let me bring it down. Sorry, I need to save. Okay. Abuja Electricity Company PLC sold a number of electricity transformer with a warranty in the year end. So at the beginning of the year, the provision for warranty stood at 5.6. Okay. At the beginning of the year, the provisions they have for warranty is 1.6. So a number of claims have been settled during the period. So they've settled 3 million. Remember that at the beginning, the provision was 5.6, out of which they've settled 3 million. Then at the end of the year end, there were unsettled claim for 300 customers. At the end of the year, there were unsettled claims for 300 customers. Then experience is that 40% of the claim submitted do not fulfill the warranty condition and can be deferred at no cost. So the average cost of settling will be 52.5. So what they want us to do here is basically how to do your provision accounting entries. So it's just an accounting entry. So let's make sure you. So what is the opening balance of provision at the beginning? Opening balance of provision. What is the opening balance? What is the balance in your provision account at the beginning of the year?
562.
625, Abby.
Yes.
Abby. Then settlement payment during the year. How much did you pay during the year? They say you paid 3 million, Abby. Hello, they say you
Yes,
paid 3
3
million
million
during
was
the year.
paid.
So, which means
Yes.
that from the beginning, what we have not settled from that beginning will be 2,625,000, Abby.
Correct.
Right? They now said that the closing provision will be what? They said a number of claims. So at the end of the year, there were unsettled claim for 300 customers. So you have 300 customers, right? Experience is that 40% of the claims submitted do not fulfill warranty condition. That means these 300 customers, you will only settle 60% since 40% do not fulfill the warranty condition and can be defended at no cost. So the average cost of settling will now be 52 pi. So multiply this by 52,500. So what is your closing provision? They said that 300 cases are with you at the end of the year.
9,250,000.
And 40% will not be settled. That means you will settle 60%. 9 million.
450,000.
9,450,000, Abi. So this is your closing provision. Now, the difference between this and the what you have is what you will charge to your P or L. So charge to P or L will now be what? The 9.4 minus 2.6. How much is that? How much is that, please?
6,825,000.
6 million?
825.
Yeah. So this is what you will charge to your P or L. Okay? So that's the class. So that is it. So that is what you charge to. That is what you will charge to P or L. So the entries will now be debit your P or L, 6,825,000, right? Then you credit your liabilities, right? The provision liabilities 6,825,000. All right. So this is how you account for provision. So at the beginning of the year, you have a provision of opening balance of 5.6, out of which you paid 3 million during the year. So the difference between this opening and what you paid is 2.6, right? Then, so at the end of the year, they said you have this. So the difference between what you have at the end of the year and the balance provision is what you expense to your P or L. So, I am actually done with this now. All right. So over to you, Maureen. You can please project your screen now, and let's see. Let me see the question that you said you have for me. Please project your screen, Maureen.
So can you see my screen?
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to change this thing to full screen. My view. Focus on content. All right. So what is you?
This question, I don't understand. First of all, when I read it, my concern was the answers at the back of the question was not. I was not understanding it because there's a discounting factor here. They gave a discount rate to prorate. I don't understand how they did it actually.
I'll read and explain. Then you will go back and solve it. So if you
Okay,
I will read it to you and explain the process for you. I will not solve it. I will read and explain. Then you will go back and solve it with my explanation. Then you let me know if there is any other further queries again. Then from there I will now intervene. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. So Abuja